गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत न शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वती नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्ये नमो नमः। वेद वेदांग विद्यास्थानेभ्य एव च सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। नमः श्री शंकरानंद गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलासमहामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे। We will chant from 8th verse, page 79. कर्तृत्व कारणत्वाभ्याम् कर्तृत्व कारणत्वाभ्याम् विक्रियेतान्तरिन्द्रियम् विज्ञानमनसि अन्तः बहिश्चैते परस्परम् काचिदन्तर्मुखा वृत्तिः आनन्दप्रतिबिम्बभाग् पुण्यभोगे भोगशान्तौ निद्रारूपेण लीयते कादाचित् कत्वतो नाम्ना कादाचित् कत्वतो नात्मा स्यादानन्दमयोऽप्ययम् बिम्बभूतो य आनन्दः आत्मा Atmasau sarvada stitehe. Atmasau sarvada stitehe. So you heard that this chapter is dealing with the second chapter of Taittiriya Upanishad called Brahmananda Valli. And in these 43 verses, Panchadashi has tried to summarize the whole Brahmanand by telling the 4 points. Because the name of this chapter is called Panch Kosh Vivekaha. So, what are the 4 points? Number 1 point is Vilakshanatvam. That 5 elements are different. 5 koshas are different than the self. Second point was Nihitatvam. That the self is inside the 5 koshas. Inside, not literal inside. Inside means essence of all. Inside means vitalizer of all. That which gives existence or consciousness. Inside means subtle. Inside means pervasive. 3 meanings have. Inside means subtle, pervasive, and closer to self. Pratyak. So what? So this is the second point. Third point is that is a nature of Atma. This inside is not something else other than the self. And fourth point is Anantatvam. This is of nature of limitlessness. So these 4 points are mentioned in the 3rd chapter of Panchadashi. It is different than 4 koshas. It is the essence or most subtler of all and lender of consciousness. Third, it is of the nature of self. And fourth, it is only one which is limitless. These are the 4 points mentioned. Now to start the topic, Vidyananda Swamiji started by describing the 5 koshas. I am repeating it since day 1. Please don't differentiate. Don't think body is a kosh or the mind is a kosh. Only when I-ness is there, then it becomes a kosh. Only when it is veiling the I, then it is becoming a kosh. By itself, it is not a kosh. Supposing you say, the clouds are not the kosh of the sun. Only when the clouds veil the sun, you are in such a particular angle that from that angle you don't see the sun, then only the clouds will be called as the veiler of sun. In its absolute level, cloud is not the veiler of sun. In Durban only sometimes at one place it is raining, other place it is sunny. So, where it is raining, there cloud is not veiling as if. But where it is sunny, it is not veiling. And if you go on the flight, etc., you will see cloud are under you. So cloud can never veil the sun. So, kosh are our own mental misunderstanding about the self. Like any person also whom you are very attached to, he will veil your understanding. Or whom you don't like, he will also veil your understanding. So that person per se is not willing. It is your wrong relation which is willing. That person is not forced to do things wrongly. But because my attachment is too strong or my aversion is too strong, therefore I have now misinterpreted that person. That is a misinterpretation. So five koshas we saw yesterday. Anna mein, pran mein, mano mein, vigyan mein and anand mein. You heard anand mein also. Anand mein kosh. Let me just tell you. The vigyan mein kosh also has a reflection of the self. But that reflection of the self is on the thought of doing. And the reflection of the self is in the thought of bhog, then it becomes anandmay kosh. So when it is in the thought of doing, it becomes karta. Karta. And when it is on your own self, on the thought which has bhog, then it becomes anand. Why? Because it's closest to the ignorance. Ignorance is closest to the self. And this thought of getting something is closest to the ignorance. And therefore there is a high level of reflection in that thought. As much as you are addicted to something, to that extent it will give you joy. If somebody is too strong drug addict or too strong drunkard, then the amount of joy he will get in taking drugs or drink that you will not get. I hope so. Because you don't have that strong vasana. Or the smoker is there, as much he enjoys smoking, a person who is just initiated into smoking, he won't get because his vasana is not that strong. More is the vasana of something, more he is ignorant, and the thought of that object creates very high level of, supposing this is the self, this is the self, and this is ignorance. Okay, this is self, this is ignorance, now this is there. Now, supposing this self is there and this is ignorance. Now this is a thought of bhog, you wanted to eat something. So what happens that this thought comes very closer to the self. And here there is a high level of reflection of this into ignorance, ignorance into this. And therefore reflection. But supposing you don't have any addiction, so this thought will be here. And therefore highly, little unlikely any reflection is strong in there. Therefore you don't get joy in that thought itself, because hardly any reflection is there in that. But moment you are bhogi and you have strong vasana, the same thought comes there. And stronger is the vasana, the closer it is, and heavy level of reflection of this self is in this thought. I hope you understood. Bully, I understood, please leave it. I understood. I had already understood. There's no need for example. So no, I am doing for my understanding, not for you. So so punya bhoge. So this is the Pratibimbanand, it is called. And one is called Bimbanand. Pratibimb and Bimb. What is Pratibimba? You got the Pratibimb is there. Acha. So Kachit antarmukha vritti Very interesting points are there. And you know what is a good point? Tell me. In Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashya, in Brahmananda only, Shankaracharya Bhagavan says, as the mind becomes purer and purer by upasana, by brahmacharya, by your living, so automatically there is vrittis have sattva, and therefore the reflection in the vritti is high of that self. So the person with a purer mind, with sattvic mind, even if he is not knowing the self, he will be more happier than the other person with rajoguna and tamoguna. Because his thoughts have quietness. Selfishness is not there. And oscillations are lesser. But if person has tamoguna and rajoguna, especially selfish rajoguna, because of the dimness of the reflection, he will naturally be unhappy, or not that fulfilled and that happy. Now, this is Anandmaya kosh. Kosh, when I say I am happy because of this, now that has become a kosh. Now this understanding is a kosh inside you. That thought, you have made that thought in which the Anand was reflected as a kosh now. If you had said that I have happiness, I am happiness and this was my reflection. I am enjoying my reflection of my thought, of myself in the thought. Thought of that food, I am enjoying the reflection of the self in the thought of the food. And there is no Anand in the food. If you had said that, then it will be only Anandmaya Sharir and not Kosh. Because you are aware of that. And therefore, I hope you understood this. 10 shlok, what it says. Now this cannot be the self. Why? Kadachit kvataha. When tah comes, it means because of. These are two different words. Please put a line somewhere. Kadachit kvataha. As if one word is an Atma. Between two words, there is a line. Although they are quite close, but they are two different words. It is not that kada chit kvatonnatma. It is two words. Printing mistake. The printer has made very close. Kada chit kvataha. And then another word is natma. Other word is natma. If you have not understood, don't worry. To kaja, what is the meaning of kada chit kvataha? Kabhi kabhi, kahi kahi, kuch kuch. This is called kada chit kvataha. Kahi kahi, kabhi kabhi. You are happy sometime. Sometime in bliss, sometime on cloud 9, otherwise in the valley. So, abyss of the valley. Sometime on the top of the world. Sometime I'm inside the ocean of sorrow. So, kada chit kvataha. Taha, like from. Like supposing you are asked, where from you are coming? You can say Bharatataha. Bharatataha. Prayagrajataha aham agachami. Taha, if you put taha, it is from. Durban nagarataha aham agachami. Nagar. You can't say Durbantaha, because it is Durban is not Sanskrit. Okay? Don't say it. You cannot say Durbantaha. Durban nagarataha. Anyway. So, kada chit kvataha. Kabhi kabhi. I had a nice lunch. Somebody praised me. I was very happy. After that, I found my clothes are not wet, not dry still. And somebody shifted it and put his own. So this, my joy of lunch went away. So this is called kabhi kabhi. But the natma, but the Atma is all the time. So api I am Anandmaya natma. This is not the self. Why? from kadachit kvataha. And how is it? Yah anand bimbo bhuta. Bimbo means object, non-reflected. Whose reflection is there? If reflection is there, that there has to be object of or who's reflected. Because same thought will not give you joy. If you are hungry, thought of food will give you joy. That means the reflection was there. But after you are full, same things thought will not give you joy. That means the reflection was there, something else was there, if reflection. That is called bimba, object. So this Atma is the bimb. Asau sarvada sthitehe, because it is at all times. So asau Atma, that Atma is sarvada sthitehe, 6th case, because it is at all times. Who? Yah Bimbananda Atma. And that Atma is also Bimbananda. Bimbananda. It is not reflected Anand, kabhi kabhi. It is at all time, at all place. Even you are sleeping, you are crying. Even if you are crying, you are in bliss somewhere. Inside, the real self is still in bliss. It is only the thought which is reflecting is called sadness. Inside that, still there is a joy, fulfillment is there. This is, I hope, clear. So 5, this is the topic, first topic is over. Panchkosh Vilakshanatvam is over. Remember I told 2nd to 10th verse? Don't forget what was said earlier. Only you told long back. No, 2 days back only. No. Okay. Now, 11th and 12th verse are talking about Nihitatvam. Nihitatvam, it is inside 5 koshas. I am repeating inside, don't take it figuratively, literally. Inside, I told what is the meaning here. Okay. So what are the 2 verses? Now, student raises a question. What is his question? Let us see. 11th verse. Nanu deham upakramya nidra nandanta vastushu ma bhutatmatvamanyastu na kaschit anubhuyate. Shall I read again or is it okay? You got it? Nanu. Nanu means objection. I have to interrupt you. I don't agree. What you don't agree? Deham upakramya. Starting here, deham means Annamaya Kosh. From Annamaya Kosh is starting from Nidranand. Nidranand means Anandamaya Kosh. Up to Anandamaya Kosh. Vastushu means Kosh. So, he says, student says, from Annamaya Kosh, Ma bhut atmatvam, let them not be Atma. I agree because all are modifying. I agree, all are modifying. They are changing. And sometimes they are there, not there also. Sometimes it is experienced, sometimes it is not experienced. So I understand they are not self. Acha. But Guruji, Anyastu na kaschid anubhuyate. Nothing else is experienced. Then we land into Buddhism now. Anyastu na kaschid anubhuyate. Nothing else is experienced. So that means nihilism is there or Shunyavad will be there. Nothing. How will we know that? So this is the question. Because you negated everything. 5 koshas are not Atma. By 5 koshas are not Atma, then Atma hai kahan? Where is the Atma? All you said that this is not Atma, this is not Atma. Then how do we know the Atma is there or not? So 12th is the answer of the question. Let us see. Badham nidradaya sarve anubhuyante nechetaraha tathapi apete nubhuyante yen tamko nivaraye. Answer is given. I am reading once, is it okay? Or you want I should read twice? Well, it doesn't matter once or twice, don't worry about it. I am not that serious. So, Badham. Badham means doesn't mean flood here. बोले बाढ़ आ गई क्या? आपके प्रश्न से बाढ़ आ गई, इसका मतलब नहीं है. Badham means, don't mix Hindi and Sanskrit. Badham means good, you are right. Little sarcasm is here, right? It's called Badham. It is indeclinable. Badham. True, right? Don't translate flood. So, ulta pulta mat kar do. Badham. Well, you are right. Nidradaya sarve anubhuyante. Nidradaya means not sleep, etc. Up to Anandamaya kosh. Nidradaya means all koshas. Sarve anubhuyante. All are experienced, na chetara, and nothing else. All are experienced. Being careful now. But my question is, this is answered by the teacher. Teacher is answering that. So somewhere in your book, if you get confused, you can write Q. And when answer is given, you can write A. Somewhere in the same words, there is a question and answer. And you don't know where question is ending, answer is starting. If you are not alert, then you will take sharan of translation, which I don't like. You should know the Sanskrit so that you can make it out. And lot of sandhis are there. So, Badham nidradaya sarve anubhuyante na chetaraha. You are right. But tatha api, equivalent sandhi is there. Here is coming. So, tatha api ete anubhuyante yena. By whom all these are experienced? Tamko nivaret. How can you negate that? By whom are these experienced? By you only said that these 5 koshas are experienced. Agreed? Bole, yes, agreed. Then how can you say that experiencer is not there? You are saying that, water is seen, fire is seen. And then after seeing, you are saying there is nobody. If there is some experienced, there has to be experiencer, which is different than the experienced. My point is this. When you are saying very clearly that Annamaya Kosh or Annamaya Sharir is experienced, Pranamaya is experienced, you say my body is today not well, or my mind is not okay, or it is very bright today, or I have to do lot of work. All these things you know that I am becoming very anxious because I have a lot of work today. Acha, yes, I have to go, I have to purchase the flour, I have to go for the market, then I have to go for the electricity bill, then I have to go to the vegetable market, then I have to fetch my child, then I have to come in the ashram. Thank God, Bhiksha is not today. So, every day Bhiksha. So, every day mala. Thank God that is not there, but other things are there. So, there is nothing called free day. So, you are anxious. You know that I think I am becoming anxious right now. I think I am becoming more irritated, or I am not in a good mood today. Acha? Or I am in a very good mood today. I had very good start of the morning, very good dream I ended. It culminated with very good dream in the night. When I got up, I was having a darshan of the Lord. That was my starting point. Acha? So, tathapi, by whom this is seen, how can you negate that? This topic has come earlier, but I just want you to seriously take it. You seriously take it. If you say that hall was empty, this is a self-contradictory statement. Because if you say hall is empty, how can you say when you are there, hall is empty, you are there, how can it be empty then? When you have made a statement, then you have to be there to say then it is not totally empty, at least you are there. How can you say hall was empty totally? There was nobody. You are saying from inside the hall. In the yajna, this is a problem. Because organizers come earlier. So when they come early, nobody has come. So they feel nobody will come, I think, today. What will I answer to Swamiji? We did so much publicity. So many places we put banner. So many places we have put the poster. People don't come nowadays, what can we do? They are seeing online. I think we should stop online. Then people will come more. One way to increase is to stop online talks. Then people will come. They are sitting, lazy people are there, they are sitting in their home. In Durban, I mean. Outside is okay. So, when slowly they start trickling, you have come very, very happy. Aiye, please come, please come. They are so happy. And as they flow in, there is no place also to sit. That day, Anandji was sitting there on the floor. I said, come here. Anand Ramkishan. Pura hall hi bhar gaya. So, if nobody is there, how will you experience? Please catch this point. It will change the whole perception. Tatha api ete yen anubhu. Yen will go before anubhuyante. Yen will go by whom? Yen means by whom? All these are experienced. After that, comma. Tamko nivaret. Who can negate that? So there is somebody experiencing. Yes, somebody is experiencing all time, all place. What? That my body I was very small once upon a time. I was a child. And now I'm childish. But a child, I remember I myself as a child going to the class 1. I don't know you have any memories of class 1 or not when you went to the first class 1 or class 2. Have the memories? I have my memories. I have the memories. The prep class was there at that time. Prep. So prep class memories are there. How I went to the prep class. Achha? Wow. That must be so old. Memories are there. But to have that, and body has changed from that to them. Mind has changed. Intellect has changed. Joy has changed. All koshas have changed in all these years. But one who is knowing the change, he should not change to know the change. Anna mein has changed, pran mein has changed, mano mein has changed, vigyan mein has changed, anand mein has changed. But this one who is knowing, he has not changed. And therefore he should be different than all. Because if he was among any, then by changing of all 5, that also should have changed. But this has not changed. I hope you are getting it. So don't say, my dear student, that you are negating all, nothing will remain. I am not negating it to make it zero. I am negating to tell this is not me, but there is someone who knows all these. Who knows all these, and he knows the changes of all these. And there is a rule, a very important rule of Vedanta. What is the rule? Anything illuminator cannot be illumined. Prakashak cannot be prakashya. That light which is illuminating this watch cannot be watch. Light which is illuminating this watch cannot be watch. Because if I take away the watch, light will also go away. If the light was same as the watch, that light which is illuminating this book cannot be book. Because if I take away the book, the light also will go away. It will still be there whether the book is there or not there. So illuminator is always different than the illumined. Illuminator and illumined don't have any relation. Important point. Illuminator and illumined, prakashak and prakashya, they are asabbadh. They are not connected at all. Sunlight is not connected to Gangaji. That sunlight is illuminating the Gangaji, therefore sunlight is pure today. And sunlight is illuminating the dirty water, therefore sunlight is dirty today. Or sunlight is illuminating the murder, therefore sunlight is dangerous. Sunlight has nothing to do with the kind of water it is there. Or sunlight is illuminating some kind of havan, therefore sunlight becomes pure today. Illuminator has no relation with the illumined. Illuminator illuminates the changes also. So the self in me, it has illumined all the changes of the Annamaya Sharir. It has illumined all the changes of Pranamaya. Well, earlier I used to be very energetic. Lekin ab energy nahi reh gayi, Swamiji. I have become old now. That energy which I had in 30s is not that much. I am not that swift. Up to get up, I have to hold something. Achha. Now, I cannot do namaskar so swiftly also. It takes time for me to bend and get up. Now bending is a project. I cannot do namaskar as I used to do. I miss that namaskar. But I cannot do that. The doctor said, don't bend down. I hope you are understanding this point. Enjoy Vedanta. Don't get worried about anything. Try to disidentify more rather than grappling with the situation. Try to find out the sufferer, the falseness of the sufferer of situation. Don't change the situation. This is 12th verse. I hope this is clearer to you. I can only hope. It is you have to munch and internalize this matter. Teacher can add the most, prepare the food. You cannot force feed also. You cannot force feed anybody. One or two morsels he can give. After that, you have to develop it. You can't force feed whole food. Let us now see. Same thing now. 2 verses has clarified nihatatvam. There is Atma which is there. So 2nd to 10th was the vilakshanatvam. 11th, 12th is nihatatvam. Okay. It is inside. Inside inverted comma. Now next point. 13 to 27 it is atmatvam. This is of the nature of self. From 13 to 27th. Let me go ahead now. Please be careful. You may find some jerk or difficulty if you are not careful. Each word, if you miss here and there, then to catch that, it will take some time. Therefore, don't miss. What is there? Swayam, 13th verse. Swayamevanubhutitvad vidyate lanubhavyata Gyatru jnanantara bhava agyeyo na tvasattaya. So, now the student asked, It is not written, but between two verses, some conversation goes like that. He said, Gurudev, please tell me one thing. You said that all koshas are illumined or all shariras are illumined because they themselves are inert. Yes, I did say that. And therefore there has to be someone who illuminates and who is not, which cannot be negated. So after negating 5 koshas, not that nothing is there, there is something is still there. Who illuminates that? Who is the illuminator of that? I'll tell you. It is said here, Swayam eva anubhutitvat. It is of the nature of self-effulgence. Acha? Well, but I don't see anything in this world which is self-effulgent. But that is the only thing which is self-effulgent. Acha, acha, acha. Vidyate nanubhavyata. It is not the object of experience. Who? One who experiences all is not experienced by anything else. It is not the object of experience. You don't need something else to know that. You don't need something else to know that. Acha, 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 acha. Like you need a light to know the flower. But to know the light, you don't need another light. You don't need, bring the lamp, I have to see the lamp. You don't need a lamp, na deepasya anya deepecha, Atma Bodh says. ठीक है ना? Are you following the joy of Panchadashi? Huh? I don't know why people are so afraid of Panchadashi. I went to Karnataka when Swamiji was there. He said Panchadashi is very ticklish, very senior Swamiji. That Panchadashi people study all those difficult. What's the need to study Panchadashi? Without Panchadashi, you will not develop that analytical thinking. How to open the verses, how to go to the depth of the subject. And therefore it is very respectable text. And I am taking second time. Not for you, but for myself. So, Swayam ev anubhuti tvat. Where tvat word comes, it means hetvarthe, because of. Swayam ev anubhuti tvat. Acha. Vidyate na anubhavyata. Anubhavyata means, anubhav means experience. Anubhavya means being object of experience. Anubhavyata. Na anubhavyata. Acha, see, supposing I need this flower is there. To see the flower you need light, you need eyes, you need mind, you need intellect, you need samskar, and you need consciousness. Leave the flower. To see the light, you need again light, eyes, mind, intellect, samskar, and consciousness. To see the eyes, you need the mind, because if mind is not there, you will not in the sleep. Mind is not there, you can't see. You do it like this to the person, because he's already gone. Some kid is quite scary when they say, hey! So, to see the eyes, you need mind, intellect, sanskar, and the self. To see the mind or intellect, you need only self. To see the self, you don't need mind. It is self-effulgent. All are paraprakashya. They are illumined by something else. If mind is not there, you won't see eyes. If self is not there, you won't see mind. If eyes are not there, you won't see the world. Are you seeing my point? So, but this is the only thing in the whole world which does not need anything else to prove itself. Ah, क्या बात है, क्या बात है, वाह. In the second line, Gyatru Jnanantara Bhavat. Little Sanskrit you should know. This self, which is self-effulgent, and therefore I tell you one secret, you can't have a dark dream. You can never have a dark dream totally. Think of that. You can have a dark waking. That I was pitch dark. It was pitch dark. But you can never have a pitch dark dream. You think over it. So, Jnatru Jnanantara Bhavat. Abhavat, again because of. Dhyan dena. There is no knower and known relation in that. In that self, it is not the known of somebody. Neither it is a knower. Because knower has to modify to know. And therefore it is devoid of knower-known relationship. Achha. But, are you getting my point? There is no other knower of that. If other knower will come, then who will know that knower? This will be regress infinitum will be there. Anavastha dosh. If that knower is known by somebody else, who will know that knower? Knower one. Then who will know that knower? ठीक है ना? And it cannot be known. Neither it can be knower. But you said it is knowing all five koshas. In its presence, everything is known. It is not knower of thought. It is not a thought which will know. All knower of the world are thought. Reflection of the consciousness is in the thought. Therefore, it is called knower. Like I am seeing this flower. So flower is an object. Flower is an object. But I know the flower. So that knower of the flower is also a thought plus the consciousness reflected. Therefore, two things are always there in any knowledge. Knower known. But in that, there is no knower known in knowing me. You cannot say, I know myself with thought. That means if thought is not there, you won't know. This is wrong. And I don't need a thought to know myself. In Samadhi there is no thought. Still you know. So, deep sleep also you know. Agya na. Gyatru jnanantara abhavat agya. I am not object of known, comma. Neither na tu asattaya. Neither I am not existence. I am still existence. When we know an object and when we know the self, there is a big difference. One word you have heard many times called vritti vyapti and phal vyapti. Well, we have heard somewhere. I think in Secrets of Hanuman we have heard that. We have heard somewhere. If you remember that, in Kathopanishad also we have seen this word. Well, what is there I don't know, but I remember I have heard somewhere. Vritti vyapti and phal vyapti. So difficult all these things are. No, earning money is more difficult. Living with some people is more difficult. This Vedanta is much easier. But I will still explain what is vritti vyapti and phal vyapti. To tell what is the difference between knowing object and knowing the self. What is the difference between the two? Please know this. You know how this flower is known. How this flower is known. It is subtle. If you miss it, never mind. If you miss to understand, don't worry. Someday in some birth you'll understand. Someday, some birth. I want to understand today only. Then you should prepare your mind. The thought Like, what shall I say? From the river, that, what is it called? Supposing the field is there where the plants are put, crops are there. And there is a way made so that the water can come and go like that. And as is the shape of the field, accordingly the shape of the water is there. Supposing it is squarish, so water will go like this and take the form of that particular square. It is circular, it will make a circular. If it's a big field, water will go in. So water goes from the channel and pervades like that. I hope you're understanding. Well, yes, I understood. Fine. Similarly, when the object is there, from the sense organ, thought goes and pervades that object. Thought goes like this and pervades the object. If it's a small flower, the thought has pervaded this. This is a big, thought has pervaded this. But this will not have the knowledge. Now that thought which is there, it has a marriage. Tell me with whom? Marriage with whom? Reflected consciousness. Now the reflected consciousness envelops that thought, then I know it. This is the way the things are known. It won't be known because thought is also inert. Inert thought is having a shape of an object. Inert, you will not have a knowledge unless there is a consciousness which is pervading that thought. This is called vritti vyapti. And when the consciousness has touched it, light of consciousness, reflected consciousness, it is called phal vyapti. Phal vyapti. I'm avoiding the translation because vritti vyapti and phal vyapti. Understood, no? One is vritti vyapti, thought has pervaded the object. But after that, the thought, immediately it is reflected, consciousness has totally pervaded that thought. And now, like water, sometimes the shine of the sun on that water. So this is dazzling water is there. Or the moonlight is shining on the waves. Similarly, now these two things will make the object known. And then what your statement? I know the flower. I know this mic. Any knowledge of the world has two processes called vritti vyapti and phal vyapti. But the knowledge of the self does not have this way. That does not have this way. Why? No, the thought does not pervade the self. Hello. Panchadashi speaking, 3rd chapter, 12, 13 verse. The knowledge, the thought of the self, there is nothing called thought of the self. The thought does not pervade the self because thought is very small, then the self is infinite. मेरे प्यारे, तुम नहीं हो हमसे न्यारे, बार बार क्यों हो रहे हो किनारे? Then how the knowledge takes place? I'll tell you. Knowledge takes place. Wow, the thought of when I say thought of the self, it means what is not self, it negates. This is not, I am not body, I am not finite. This thought removes the thought that I am finite, and the self-effulgent consciousness is illumined by itself. It doesn't need phalvyapti. It doesn't need light of consciousness to pervade that thought as in the case of other objects. This is the way the self is known. The self is not known by a thought. Well, can you give any suitable example? I'll try. Well, I'll try. Supposing in a dark room, there is a pot kept. So the pot is kept in the dark room. and you did not know where is the pot. So somehow you stumbled upon that pot. Then you saw the pot is there. Then after that you threw a torchlight. Because pot did not have its own light. This is vritti vyapti. Just rough example I am giving. Don't take it literally. But supposing there is a big bulb which is covered by a lot of layers, blue, yellow, violet, dark, black, and you don't know it. So you only have to remove that covering and the bulb is self-effulgent after that. You don't have to illuminate that bulb like the torch light was illuminating the pot. So there is only the thought is required to remove the thought of finitude, and that is the self-knowledge. In the case of Atma Gyan. But in other case, you don't need to know wrongly knowing the self, I know the self. Even that does not need a thought. I hope this point is clear. And therefore, in the knowledge of the self, there is no knower known. I don't know the self by some other self. Otherwise, in deep sleep, you won't have knowledge. In the samadhi, you won't have knowledge. Thought cannot know unless there is a light of thought, light of consciousness illuminating the thought. How can the thought know the self? How can the thought know the self? Why? Because thought is much smaller than the self. If you have understood, well. If you have not understood, leave it. Or you again hear that. Only I have understood one part, vritti vyapti. I have not understood phal vyapti. Phal vyapti means that the vritti is illumined by the light of consciousness. Like the pot has to be illumined by the bulb. And then you have the knowledge. Okay. I'll think over it, then I'll let you know. I'm slow thinker actually, the point is this. I don't understand so fast. I slowly think everything. I think 3-4 times I have to listen. Then I'll understand that. I'll again listen, again write, again listen, again write. You don't worry. Don't worry. Relax. Don't worry. Okay. एक बात आपको और सुनाते हैं. Any thought knowledge is forgotten in time. Because thought, memory depends on that. If you are knowing by yourself, by your thought, then you will forget yourself, I am there or not. Am I existing? This question will come. So that is not possible. देखो कितने तर्क हैं. If, another way to think, see, thought always comes from the self. How can the effect illuminate the cause? So, Atmani Kriya Bhavat. Anything cannot act on itself. The very essence of thought is the self. How can the thought illuminate the self? Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat vacho havacham sau pranasya prana. It cannot illuminate its own self. Okay. It's like child was fighting with the mother. Bole, I am very angry. Bole, why? You did not call me in your marriage. I was seeing the album. Everybody was there. Except me. Uncle was there. Auntie was there. You don't like me. I won't talk to you. It's like that. Similarly, Jnatru Jnanantara Bhavat, after Bhavat, comma, Agneya. This is not a known object. After that, again, comma. Well, how many comma? I will put whole book as comma. No, you have to be careful. Na tu asattaya. Na tva. Tu has, va has become u. And a is hidden there. Iko yanachi sandhi. Na tu asattaya. I hope you have understood that. Understood? Please reflect also. Don't get stressed. If you understand, don't get stressed. Chant Lord's name, don't worry. Evening class you come, you'll be happy. So, madhuryadi swabhavanam anyatra swagunarpinam swasminstadarpanapeksha no na chastyat anyar no na chasti anyadarpakam. Very good. You made it. So, by mistake, sometimes they make it. So, otherwise, long word and that too half consonant, you feel, by seeing you get discouraged. You don't try only after that. Bole no na cha, 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 chas. Tyastan tambattaran. So, moment you see better break it. Nona chasti anyadarpakam. Therefore I broke it. Now, what is there? What is there? Madhuryadi swabhavanam. Something is of the nature of. So, something of the sweet is there, sugar is there, or salt is there. So, madhuryadi swabhavanam anyatra swagunarpinam. That can lend their sweetness in the sugar, in the milk, in the water, in your Milo, in your choco bar, chocolate drink is there. It can lend its sweetness. Who? Sugar. Sugar can lend its sweetness to something else other than itself. Or it can lend saltiness. Or lemon can lend sourness. Or vinegar, apple cider vinegar, it can lend its vinegar taste. Bole, I understood. Please don't worry. I understood what you want to say. I understood. Okay. Please go second line. Madhur adi swabhavanam anyatra swagunarpinam. Okay. But, second line is very important. Swasmin tad arpanapeksha na. Acha? But they don't expect somebody, sugar will not expecting for it to get sugar from somebody else to make it sweeter. Neither salt is expecting some other salt to make it salty. Neither vinegar is expecting another vinegar to make it vinegar taste. Vedanta Swami had a lot of experience. See? Swasmin tad arpana peksha no. No, comma. After no, comma. Wrong side you don't put comma. Because this one sentence is there. It is not expecting something else to make it sweeter. Comma. Na cha asti anyadarpakam. Neither there is something else which can impart, which can make it sweeter. Neither they need something, sugar doesn't want anything else to make it sugar. Neither there is something else which can make sugar more sweeter. So, I hope you got the point. Neither the self needs something else to be known, to make it known. Neither there is something else which will illuminate the self. Okay, I understood now. I understood. Please note this second, this is the third topic going on. 13th to 27th. Atmatvena Brahma. Don't miss. Sugar will not need another sugar to illuminate, to make it sweeter. Yes. Neither there is any other sugar which can make sugar sweeter. This is an example. What you want to say? What do you want to say? Neither the self needs anything to be known. Neither there is existing something which can illuminate the self. Oh, I understood. I think my intellect is increasing. There is a growth in my intellect because I'm understanding. There's a marked change in my understanding. Almonds are working. So, अच्छा अर्पकांतरराहित्ये अप्यस्तेषां तत्स्वभावता मा भूत्तथानुभाव्यत्वम् बोधात्मा तु न हीयते. अर्पक means lender. Arpayati iti arpakah. Arpak antarrahitye. There is no lender of sweetness to that sweet sugar. That I am putting more sweet sugar so that sugar will become sweeter. So sugar will not become sweeter. Maybe water will become sweeter if you put more sugar to that water. Arpak antarrahitre apyasti. Esham tat swabhavata. Why? Because it is his own nature. Ma bhut tatha, in the same manner. Anubhavyam. Similarly, anubhavyatvam means objectification. Bodhatma. Nothing can make the self illumined. It is not known by something else. Bodhatma na tu hiyate. It is not known by something else. So 2 points are said. One thing, something, neither it is known by something else. Other thing is not making it known. Other sugar, neither can you know by something. Neither there is something existing other than that. 2 points are said. Bodhatma tu na hiyate. So that itself is there. So na hiyate. Even when it is not experienced as an object, it is still existing. Mabhu tatha anubhavyatvam. Objectification is not there. Bodhatma na tu hiyate means it is not objectifiable. More we will see tomorrow. This topic will go ahead. I hope you are catching the point. Please try to write some notes for your self-reflection. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.